Hey guys, it's Gummer here with a ninth age battle report, and this one is a couple of weeks old. I was hoping to get my opponent on Skype or something and do a bit of a dual battle report audio thing, but yeah, just time gets away and it's 2 weeks, or no, actually it's only a week and a half since this, but I didn't want to leave it any longer, so let's get at it. We're both preparing for a 1850 point ninth age one day sort of store tournament at a local store around here. Not sure how many people are going to get into it, but we're hoping there'll be, I don't know, maybe 8 or so, 10 people in it, just a small thing. And I guess it's got to start somewhere. So we're playing Orcs and Vamps. So this is the same player that I played on the last battle report. Our lists are just smaller, I guess, obviously, at 1850. I'll go through mine, but I really don't know what's in his, so we'll just sort of skim through it. Um, I've not gone with my asthma spamming this time. I want to try the big wag. So I've got a level 3 of that, and I got the green hand. Here we go, and big stomp. Um, didn't roll any doubles, and they're not actually the ones I wanted. So oh well, I really wanted zap, um, and big stomp's just to me it's not even worth casting. They need to bring back the Bigfoot, I think. So I switched out whatever else I had to here we go. Um, and hand, I just thought, well, we rolled up that getting in the center objective, the secondary objective, so I kept that one. But yeah, I would have actually liked some of the other spells. Anyway, and whatever I rolled on the level 1 shadow, I obviously swapped to my. Actually, I think I rolled the big one, either pit or whatever the other one is. Geez, you guys know what it is, but I swapped to my asthma just because it's easier to cast. So deployment, here we go. We've got the Night Goblin Archers just out on the left. They're just here for a banner, really. That's it. And a bunker for some of the shamans if I need it. I've got the Great Green Idol in this one, and I took the BSB option. Now he's on a smaller base because that's the base that thing comes with. I am actually doing up 100 by 100, and who knows when I'll get it painted and modified because I've got to put heaps of orky stuff off it, but we'll see. Um, and then I've got 20 something, 28 Iron Orcs. I don't even think they had plate mail. I think they just got the 4 up. It's just with 1850 points, just not enough points. And I did trick out my war boss. I was tempted to just go with a big boss. Um, Still maybe something I do for the tournament. I'm not sure. But I did trick this guy out in the sense he's got a 1 up rerollable save, and I may have even fitted the blessed sword in. Sorry, I don't have the list. It was a week and a bit ago. Actually, sorry, no, he doesn't have any magic weapons, but he does have the potion of swiftness, um, just to try and give that one turn where he can actually do some damage, especially against vamps and stuff. Probably useful. And then I've got 28 or 30 something savages in 7 by 4 or something. Oh, and look at that! I've got animations, and I should have used them while we were talking. Squigs, 28 of them or something in 7 by 4. Um, They're fun to paint, I'll tell you, they're cool. And then I got 2 Wolf Riders regiments, not regiments, geez, what are they called? I don't even, I just played Kings of War today, sorry, so I'm a bit confused now. What are these dudes called? Something. Goblin Raiders, yeah. So I didn't actually put any text on these guys, so I don't know. The guys on the left are definitely the equivalent of the Graveguard, and he's got like a bunch of characters in there. He's got his big vamp guy and some 2 white king dudes in there. And then he's got zombies, skellies at the back with 2 necromancers, I think, were in that one. Um, dogs, and then he's got ghouls, and at the back of that, some more zombies. So this time, unlike the last game, he actually made sure everything was around so he could actually raise up. So he's gone similar magic that he did. Actually, I think it's exactly the same. He's got the re-rolled a wound or whatever spell, and then 3 rises he's got, or raised deads, or whatever they're called. You can see his dogs are vanguarded. And he gets first turn and just moves forward. I mean, there's not much else he can do. With no shooting or anything, that's pretty much his turn 1. That's where I'd vanguarded too. And then magic, as I mean, I can't even stop. Like, I can't stop 4 or 3 raised deads, whatever they're called. So he gets them off. I mean, I try to stop 1, or I do stop 1 or something. But yeah, they're all his dice, and then he goes adding them on once I start my movement. Yeah, there's another set. So, I mean, he's blocked himself up, so he can't actually add a heap to some of these units just because that skelly blocks at the back. But still, um, I really don't even know how to play. How do you play against that many bloody rises going off? So I move up, as you can see. So my plan all along, I guess, was. I mean, obviously with this list, I looked at his list and I thought, if I take the Graveguard out, that's his army, really. You take the Graveguard out and you just got to wade through all these other crap and you probably win. Um, and I sort of positioned in my head, I was thinking Squigs on one side, Great Green Idol on the other, and my core units in the middle because we had to get to the center. That was sort of the main thing. So I wanted to have my two big scoring units there, and the cave goblins coming up the back just in case I needed some more. So that's sort of why I did it that way. But little bit of bad positioning, which we'll discuss as we get along. So I can get it. I get actually two charges off. The cave squigs go in the flank of these wolves, and my other wolf guys go out to the side. Now, what would happen here is actually charge those wolf boys at the dire wolves as well. No, sorry, they might have charged at the zombie unit because they were actually in charge range, but it was a massive charge range. But it did give me the ability to get them out of the way of the other raider unit, which then went right. And I rolled enough. I rolled a 4, it was my highest, failed. So they basically got out of the way, and I get 2 flank charges, which I need that to try and take those dogs out. um, Actually throw Here We Go on them so they can, and you can actually, I screwed this up, I threw Here We Go on them, but didn't realize it was 12-inch range until I tried to cast it again, and so that shouldn't have gone off. Making a shitload of mistakes with these at the moment. As a result, I get the Augmen off on my Black Orcs, and we end up popping them, and that's our turn, I would imagine. And there's just a shot of the Cave Goblin, keep calling Squigs, what are they now? Something? Nasher Herds. Coming along. They're not finished yet, but they're getting there. He tries a few long charges and they all fail basically, which is good. Although hindsight, maybe it would have been good to get a few in, but he didn't. So it's basically over to my turn. I think it was a pretty crappy magic phase, so I don't think he got a whole lot done in his vamp turn 2. I just threw all my dice at stopping the mockery one or whatever, and then I think he might have done a few more rises, but that was about it. And then we call the Warg turn 2, and we go in, and this is yeah, we'll get back to this one. So I charged the Savages and the Great Green Idol into his Graveguard. I mean, what I didn't want to do is throw the Black Orcs in there and get my War Boss killed. Typical wussiness on my part, so I actually crisscrossed the Savages and the Black Orcs. Black Orcs get in, but my Savages, even with Swift Stride only needing, geez, it was above average, but it was, I don't know, maybe needed, geez, I don't know, maybe needed a 6 or a 7 maybe, so it was flirting on averages, but because they're Swift Stride and re-rollable because of the Great Green Idol, but I just rolled 2 crappy rolls. My Savages didn't get in, and that was when I went, oh crap, because I've just put a 3 attack monster into Great Weapon Unit, which is pretty brain dead when you think about it. We get some spells off. Here we go on the caves in the Nobler Nasher dudes, and so then I put the augment back on the Black Orcs. And we go to town, and we just don't kill enough because, the positioning there is I had to get rid of these zombies and pivot, so I'm not going to get flank charged, and there's 2 buggers left. It's just like re-adding up the combat res, going, come on, go on, that. Yeah, just that didn't work at all. I think this guy only managed 2 wounds, even with his stomp. I think that's a 2, not a 4. And then the great weapons come back, and he has a shit ton of attacks because they're all on him, and he, even with his 2 up save and 5 up ward, he just got pummeled. All up they did 7, I think, which is how many wounds he's got. So, but yeah, if the Savages were in there, he would have been a lot more limited with how many guys. I think he could only get 9 guys in against this guy, so he would have definitely been alive, and then the Savages would have done some damage to these guys. But it wasn't to be, and it was risky. At the end of hindsight, I should have just gone bugger it and throw the Black Orcs in there. But really, we'll talk about it. Probably had better positioning. So you can see their reform there, ready to just go flank charge, which they do. They go in. This is going to hurt. We pop. I think we. Actually, I don't think we did pop a unit of zombies. I think they're just grown back. So the squigs are just stuck over there as well. Ghouls going to my wolf riders up there. Looks like he gets mockery off. And yeah, just a shot. Yeah, there's more zombies against my squigs there. So he's got lots of raids. They're all the raids dies. One unit of raiders dies. The other one's ready to chaff up again. And bang. Ouch. There goes my general. There goes my iron orcs. Yeah. It's falling apart. So this time the savages do get in. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to try to take something out. Send them the night goblins in as well for some more combat res. And yeah, I mean, he kills a few, but we're steadfast and we lose our frenzy, but we do some damage back to him as well. But we're stuck there now. And I don't know what all these pictures are, but maybe raise them back. Who knows? Bit of a blue picture, but I've chaffed up his ghouls, and then he charges my raiders again. And my squigs are still stuck on those zombies. And this combat just drags on. At this point, he's growing things back. I'm killing some, but at the end of the day, I can't grow back, so I'm slowly whittling away. And that's when I give myself the finger for the stupid move. And the ghouls break this unit of raiders. They run off. And finally, the squigs break through that zombie regiment. And in my turn 6, I charge his. No, my turn 5, sorry, I charge his unit of skellies up there. But yeah, my savages break, they die, get overrun, and my night goblins run off the other way, off the screen to the bottom left. So yeah, top 5. There they are, go in, and I think I ended up killing one of his necros, which is not too bad. I think I did. I may not have even, might have been one off, but trying to get some points. But his turn 6, he just stands right in the center of the table, which you need to do. And my turn 6 is nothing. I mean, my night goblins on the left fled off the table, and my other raiders off the table had nothing left except for those cave goblos. So the squigs, and they are not a scoring unit anyway, so that was just a smashing win to the vamps. Yeah, I mean, that charge turn 2, that was the game. Having said that, in hindsight, now having played with this idol, whatever it's called, Great Green Idol, I don't know why I put it there. I mean, it is the perfect, I would imagine, I've only played one game and he died in turn 2, but in hindsight, he's the perfect thing to just be sitting in combat with zombies all game. I mean, why I didn't put him against the zombies? He'd be stuck, they wouldn't be able to do anything, but he's in combat, everything around him then is getting rerolled to his hatred and all that sort of stuff, and they're not going to do any damage to him. So I don't know why I didn't position him to go up against them and then put everything else around him. I guess you got to learn. But yeah, I won't be doing that again. He's not tough enough to take on that. Having said that, if the Savages did get in there with him, I know we didn't roll it off, but it'd be interesting to see what they would have done in that one turn if we would have done enough damage to really obviously win the combat and then make them crumble a bit more. It would have been interesting, even though it's got lots of characters in there. I had one champ with the Savages, so I could have at least soaked up some of that. It would have been interesting to see how we went, but it wasn't to be, and so I lost. Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to keep this list, I think. I want to have a couple more games if I can before this tournament to see how it holds up. It's got 4 scoring units, is it? Is it? Yeah, 4 scoring units in an 1850 point game. I mean, that's probably okay. No artillery, it's just got to fight, but who knows? Yeah. Anyway, let me know how you think, and if You agree with me with that? That idol should not have been where it was. Yeah, I'd love to know. I'm pretty sure that you'll agree. Anyway, next game up is a Kings of War game, and I'll get that out as soon as I can as well. Cheers, guys. Bye.